welcome back to the kitchen. In our past videos, I've been so technical and so concerned with getting it right, I was losing me. And I love to have fun in the kitchen. I love to cook. It's a passion that I've learned from many different people my entire life. This morning, my plans were to do a frittata, an egg frittata. And I'm one of those people that like to use all the things that I have available to me. So it's one of those clean the refrigerator type things. It's not a bad thing. It's not that soup that nobody will ever eat. No, it's a nice save a day old bread, finish up the meat that was left from earlier this week. Let's make something nice, warm, hearty that'll get us through the day. I've got some day old bread, about 10 eggs. I took out the last link of andouille sausage and I've cubed it into nice little pieces. I have some onion, some cheese. Oh, and let's not forget that Philadelphia cream cheese. This got frozen and it crumbled into nice, wonderful pieces. So it's going to hit this and just make it over the top. You ready? I want you to hear how crusty this bread is and we're going to save it. Here we go. I have this wonderful little loaf. See, it looked just like this. And I bought it a few days ago, more like a week ago. Nothing's green, which has always been a habit of mine. I let things go a little too long. You get busy during the week and you just forget it's there, you run out of time, and then when you go look for it, it really is already too late. But this guy is still good, and I'm just going to cut these up into nice little cube pieces. And you hear that crusty bread sound? There's nothing wrong with this. This would go great if you wanted to throw it in the freezer and add it to some more crusty bread to make a nice bread pudding. We put this in the freezer and you could save it if you have the space. That's one of our problems, is we don't have enough space, because I like to shop and I find things on sale and, well, I run out of room. But it's fun to to have nice things in the freezer, and when friends stop by, you just pop it in the oven like you knew they were coming, and in 10 minutes you have something nice and sweet or yummy. So I'm going to crumble this all up. I'm going to cut this all up and get it over here in my nice little bowl, just so it's all organized for me. Somehow that gets in our head that we all have to be perfect and organized, and life is life, and we need to live it and have the best time we can. This is all going to go into my cast iron skillet, because if you've noticed before, I'm an old school girl and I like cast iron. Let me tell you, I don't eat anybody's eggs. It's very funny and rare if I do. I'm not an egg fan. One science project in high school could ruin you. So anyway, I passed, got out of there, but I don't do any more science projects. So I've got the bread going here. I think this is pretty close to about 1.5 cups to 2 cups, and that's what's going to go into our cast iron skillet. I have the oven preheated at 350. I have my cast iron. I'm going to spray that with some non-stick cooking spray. I'm going to switch over here and get these eggs whipped and add the milk, and we'll start to assemble. Our eggs have come together. I've used 1/2 cup of milk, 1/4 cup at a time, just so our eggs will be beaten together with the milk. It'll incorporate, and there'll be a nice little foamy layer on the top to make it frothy. This is going to sit nicely on top of our bread. Now that we've added our Cajun seasoning and our cayenne pepper to the eggs, I'm going to add my andouille sausage that I've cubed into small pieces. I have white onion that I've diced as well, except this guy right there. I have a little bit of green and red bell pepper, because you can't do Cajun food without it, even for breakfast. I have 1 small potato that I've cubed into nice little pieces as well. You want things to cook evenly and together. Even though the sausage probably doesn't need as much time as the potato, this is going in the oven for 20 minutes. So we want everything to be happy while they're in there. I also have about 1 cup of cream cheese. And this cream cheese was kind of in the back of the fridge and it got really cold and icy. And I thought, wow, I've wasted my Philly. Not. I'm going to drop this right into the eggs. It's going to blend right in. It's going to work. So I'm excited about this. I also have some shredded cheese and some chopped green onions that I'm going to add on the top. Now that we're ready to put everything in our skillet, remember we sprayed this with a non-stick cooking spray. I have about 2 cups of chopped day-old bread. It doesn't have to be day old. A nice crusty bread, my thought, I come from a family of 5, and it was always stretch and make everything work so that everybody was fed. And I think that's one of my big things today. One of my passions is that I want to feed everyone. And I like to cook. It's time away from everyone, so I'm there all by myself and it becomes a therapy. And it's cheaper than shopping. So I'd have my eggs. I have my eggs, my cream cheese, my onions, my sausage, and my peppers, all in this nice mixture. And before I put it on top of the bread, I'm going to add a pinch of salt and a pinch of pepper. I'm going to put this all on top of this bread. The bread's going to soak up that egg and the milk. We're going to make sure this spreads out evenly. If it looks like cream cheese is stuck on one side more than the other, spread it out. Hey, I have a quick tip that's easy with this recipe. If you're on the go, you're always missing breakfast, take a cupcake tin, spray it with your nonstick spray so that each well is coated evenly. We're going to put some bread at the bottom, fill the tin up halfway with your egg mixture, making sure that each cupcake well has enough meat and enough cheese so that everybody gets a nice fair bite. You're going to bake this in the oven for about 15 minutes, watching it so that it doesn't burn. Bring them out of the oven, let them sit. Make sure you run a knife around the sides because your shredded cheese could stick. And you're going to pop those little guys out. They work great for a brunch, or they're wonderful when you take them into the office. Everyone's there late and they're all starving. You will be a hit. Our frittata is out of the oven, and I'm going to let it sit for 5 minutes so it'll be a little easier to touch, let it cool down, and it's easier to cut. Everything will kind of set together, so it'll be a nice slice when we take it out. It's done that, so I'm going to slice just like you would do a pizza, right across the center. We're going to get a nice wedge out of here and see how we did. This looks really yummy. Sometimes you want to run your knife just around the edges, just in case something's stuck. A little bit of cheese. And get that nice like that. Slide in a spatula. Make sure we get the bread right off the bottom, not leaving any of those flavors. Ooh, yummy. I know it's going to be yummy with the Philadelphia cream cheese. I encourage you to take this recipe and any other recipe and make it your very own. Enjoy what you're doing. Cooking is all about a passion. Feed your friends, your family, but right now nobody's around, so this piece is for me. Thanks, Philly. See you next time. Right on.